Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order of June 7th. This is a special meeting of the Select Board. First call would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you all join me in Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting, as Chair of the Goffstown Select Board, due to the COVID-19 outbreaks and in accordance with the Governor's Sununu Emergency Order Number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, this board is authorized to meet electronically. Please note that there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to the meeting, which was authorized pursuant to the Governor's Emergency Order. However, in accordance with the emergency order, this is to confirm that we are providing public access to the meeting by telephone with an additional access possibilities by video. The town is utilizing Microsoft Teams platform for the electronic meeting. The public has access to contemporaneously listen and, if necessary, participate in this meeting through dialing the following telephone number. Area code 603-766-5646 and using the participant code of 785645. The town previously gave notice to the public of how to access this meeting using the available telephone numbers with posted agenda. If anybody has a problem with the telephone access, please call area code 603-384-3624. In the event that the public is unable to access the meeting, we will adjourn the meeting and have it rescheduled at another time. Please note that all the votes that are taken tonight at this meeting shall be done by roll call vote. So let's start the meeting by taking a roll call. And we'll start with Chet.
Chet Bowen, I'm the only one in the room.
Collis.
Collis Adams, present, and I am the only one in the room.
Mark.
Present, and I am the only one in the room.
Jim.
Present and the only one in the room.
I'm Chair Peter Georgantis, and I am the only one in the room. So the Select Board, this is to discuss a couple of items. First up would be reference to town board and committee members. Derek, can you update us on anything that's changed from the governor's office?
Yes, I will say I did share with the board members and the department heads last week the guidance that we got out of the New Hampshire Municipal Association. 2 weeks ago, the governor extended the emergency order for 2 weeks, which is a shorter period than he has extended before. The governor's office has not made a clear direction on what they're going to do on this Friday, but in his press conference on Thursday, he did make mention of the emergency declaration going away once the legislature took up some of the items include as part of their budget process. So there is a chance he may not continue the emergency declaration in those emergency orders that are tied to it on Friday, or he may continue to go a couple weeks at a time coming up for this Friday. So we don't have clear direction on which way he's going to go. That was asked by New Hampshire Municipal Association, but they did not have clear direction as of Friday of last week.
So would it be proper thing to do is to continue to go on as with the governor's recommendation? If he goes for 2 more weeks, we go for 2 more weeks? Would that be the proper thing to do?
I think that's an option. The only difficult thing is when we have boards like the planning board or the zoning board that have to send out a butter notification a week prior, as well as post public hearing agendas 7 to 10 days prior. It becomes very difficult. So I didn't know if the board wanted to consider allowing boards the option of meeting in person or a mixture of in person and remote.
So a hybrid, if we did a hybrid, would it be, if it was a hybrid, would it still be the Teams platform, or would we just go to audio?
I would work with the whichever board chair to see how they would like to do it. We do have the option of doing hybrid with teams here in room 106. We do have a conference room television that has a camera mounted on top, as well as a audio system to pick up all the audio. So we can do that if they prefer to just have people call in, because that may be easier for members. We can do that as well. So we have options to do whichever I guess the committee is most comfortable with.
You just hit on something important. First, you said the chair, and then you said committee. I really think it's a committee's decision and not just the chair, because the chair may be in disagreement with the majority of the commission. So
As
it's got to
long,
be one or the other. Either we say, yes, we're going to do a hybrid, or no, we continue on the track that we're on now. So, that's my speaking. And
And I
hope
would
the rest of
say-
you guys will chime
Mr.
in.
Chairman,
Yep.
as long as the governor's emergency order number 12 is in place, I think the committee would have that ability to make that decision, because if there were members that felt comfortable coming into room 106 and participating in person, we would not need a quorum here when emergency order number 12 is in effect. So you could have a handful of members here and others participating remotely. At the time that emergency order sunsets, each board would have to have a quorum of members in the public meeting room, and all others could participate electronically under the current right to know law.
Okay. We'll start with Chet. Do you want to input on this?
Yeah, no, I think moving to a hybrid model now is entirely appropriate given where we're at. So I would be in favor of that.
Okay. Collis?
Yeah, I've always been a proponent of the hybrid model, and that hasn't changed at all. I'd like to go forward with that sort of a format.
Mark?
Yeah, I'm also in favor with the hybrid, and we'll follow the governor's instructions as they come out, whether it's 2 weeks or whatever, and we'll go from there. I'm in favor of the hybrid.
So the hybrid is I'm going to let Jim, go ahead. Jim?
Yeah, Derek, I just have a question, I think, or I'm a little confused. If the order expires, I see in the packet that the right to know law allows someone, if there's four criteria met, they can participate telephonically. And so if they can justify not coming in person under the right to know law, they can do that even after the governor's executive order expires. That's all.
Yes, that is correct. That there is allowed under the current, I would say, unmodified right to know law. Currently, the right to know law has been modified by the emergency orders of the governor. But under the right to know law, members can do limited remote participation, and you do have that in your packet. The biggest one is there needs to be physical attendance of a quorum of the board.
Yeah.
Okay, I just that's important to me. I lost my mother to this thing last year, and I would like to have somebody, if somebody really has an issue, I want to respect that. So
Yep.
so the hybrid, I think, will take care of that, I hope.
Yeah, and Jim, just so you know, this is not unprecedented. I mean, back before the pandemic, if there are members who were away for whatever reason, on
Right.
vacation or whatever, they were allowed to participate telephonically. So
Okay.
this is not unprecedented. We've done this before.
Yep.
And the right to know law does allow for that, as long as we have a quorum present when we do it.
Yep, okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Well, I guess the only thing is we need to guarantee that we have a quorum if we're going to move into the building. And I guess I would put it on, I hate to say this, but I would put it on the chair to contact to make sure that people are going to show up. The town hall's got enough, they got enough people, enough stuff to do that we'll have to worry about that. And not just the chair of the select board, but also EDC, Planning Board, sewer's their own thing. They still have to follow the laws, but HDC, whoever else, I think the chair of that committee should be responsible for making sure that they have a quorum.
I agree, Peter.
I mean, we don't need Derek, Danielle, or,
No.
Catherine spending time on the phone calling each person and saying, can you come tonight? Can you come tonight? So we need to make sure that the chair of each committee takes care of that. Is that okay with you, Derek?
Yeah, we can definitely work with the chairs to make sure that they know that they'll have a quorum here present once the emergency order sunsets.
I just don't want to put any more burden on town hall to do something, making phone calls, that's all. Any questions? Do you need a vote on this, Derek?
Since you took a vote back in January, yes, I would appreciate a vote to allow in-person meetings again at town hall.
The hybrid model.
Yes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Collis, seconded by Chet. Any further discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just want to make sure this is effective as of June 8th.
Is that enough time to allow, Derek,
That's my-
anybody got any meetings this week?
So we can definitely make it effective June 8th. I will say that we do have a sewer commission meeting tomorrow night that has already been noticed as a remote meeting. We also have a planning board meeting that a butter notification has gone out as a remote meeting. But we will get the word out to committee chairs of all unnoticed meetings that it will be that they will have the option, and we need to specify that it would be at town hall. And then also the only other, I guess, thing that we would probably do is the planning board meeting on July 24th had 2 continued applications. To be safe, I'm going to direct the planning office to renotice abutters to that, to those applications that were continued so that they know of the format change.
That's good.
So knowing that we have meetings the rest this week, should we probably make this effective Monday?
Yeah, I was gonna suggest that, Peter. Yeah, there's no need to rush
We'll
it.
make this effective Monday, and our meeting Monday night will be held in person.
Okay.
Yep, I'll modify my motion, Peter, to include that date.
There we go.
Chet seconded your modification.
Yep.
All set, Derek?
Yes, thank you.
I have a roll call. Chet,
Yes.
Hollis,
Yes,
Mark,
Yes,
Jim,
Yes,
and myself is a yes. That puts that to bed. DPW Director, is he on?
Yes, Adam's on.
I am. Hi, folks.
So Adam, you want to propose a job description, seasonal hire, seasonal laborers?
I would, yes. So as you know, we've been struggling to fill our seasonal positions at DPW the last couple of years. Chairman Georgianis had recommended looking into whether or not we could dip into the labor pool sub 18-year-old. So great thanks to Derek and Danielle for helping me kind of weed through the laws. The statutes for minor employment are a little tricky. We think we've got a proposed job description that I believe was provided for you as part of the packet that spells out what they can and can't do as 16 and 17-year-olds. There's a bit of a difference federally between 16 and 17 and 14 and 15. Still a little bit of a question about power tools, specifically trimmers, since they use that as quite a mainstay of their job when they work for us for the summer. So what we've done is put together a job description for 16 and 17-year-old minor employment. With the restrictions on the last page that you see in the bottom, things they can't do. And if they're 16 years old, they can't drive a vehicle, which is kind of a big one. But if we have enough staff, we can get the supervisor can truck a 16-year-old to the site and leave them there to mow. And what we'd like request tonight would be if a board agrees to provisionally approve this job description. Danielle had reached out to DOL last week, but still hasn't heard back from them. So we'd like definitive word about the string trimmer piece. We hate Murphy's Law. We'd hire some 17-year-old and the first day he'd use a string trimmer and whip a rock up into his eye or something, and then we'd be up the creek. So we'd like the board tonight, if we could, to provisionally approve it. And then if we hear back from DOL that it, as written, it covers all our bases, then we could immediately post an ad to try to and maybe go to the high school and get a talk with a guidance counselor, try to get some applicants in the door for our seasonal jobs.
So the reason why I brought this up, and I'll tell you the reason was this, I was driving down the road and I saw some kid mowing a lawn, and as you know, maybe you do know that my nephew Jason is the one that takes care of the cemeteries, and he was complaining he couldn't find any help. And I called Adam and I said, is there any reason why we couldn't get 16-year-olds to 16, 17-year-olds from the high school who are always looking for part-time jobs in the summer? And he says, well, I have to check with insurance. And that's where this came up with Derek and Danielle working on it. I think it's, my point on this is, if we get some 16 and 17-year-olds and next year they'll be trained, you'd have a 16-year-old, hopefully it'll be 17-year-old, he'll be trained and be able to maybe stay on board, knowing that if he's a good employee this year, we can grab him again next year and kind of keep that pipeline filled with 16 and 17-year-olds from the high school. They can't find jobs because it's, maybe McDonald's but other than that, I'm going to start with, Chet, you got any comment?
No, it makes perfect sense to me.
Hollis?
No, I agree. Let's get out there and tap that resource.
Mark?
Same feeling, same thoughts. Let's go for it.
All right, and Jim?
That's a good idea. As long as the DOL's okay with the limitations and all that, that's fine.
Yeah, and the only thing I would suggest, Adam, is maybe we run a little, when they get on board, an hour or two, and it doesn't have to be very long, but just a little safety education before they get started, safety glasses, gloves or whatever they need to have. We make sure that they have it and they're using it.
No doubt.
Sure.
We do a little bit of an in-dock landscaping safety kind of thing that kind of goes soup to nuts on some of the hazards. But I think especially for these folks, if it's approved, what we'd want to do is spend a little time, which we normally wouldn't, on things that they can't do, especially.
Yeah, and they should
Don't
be
get us in
signing
trouble.
off on the fact that they've gone through training and they understand the duties and the hazards of the position.
Right.
And it's important that we do this now because in the next week, school's out, so we won't have that resource. So, Derek, what do you need from us?
Motion to approve the job description with the one caveat that we're just waiting to hear back from DOL on the weed eater, or the weed whacker, if that's considered a power tool prohibited by federal law or if that's allowable.
Okay. Somebody want to make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we provisionally approve the proposed job description and just wait on DOL.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Chet, seconded by Mark. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call a roll. Chet,
Yes.
Hollis,
Yes,
Mark,
Yes, sir.
Jim,
Yes,
and myself as a yes, so we can proceed with that, Adam.
Thanks all.
Right. We have anything else, Derek, that you need to bring in?
Just the two quick items in non-public, but there's nothing else for public session.
Okay,
So we,
Need a motion?
not on your agenda, but to add C reputation under non-public this
Right.
evening.
so can we get a motion?
I'll make a motion. We go in non-public session, RSA 91-3, A:3, 2 for A, compensation, and C, reputation.
second.
Who seconded that? Collis?
Yep.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Collis. We'll do the roll. Chet,
Yes.
Collis,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes, sir.
and Jim,
yes.
and myself is a yes. That'll conclude our public portion of tonight's meeting. We'll be going into non-public. Thank you.